Okay.
Recording as well.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 6:33 p.m. We are going to call this meeting to order. Notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, being held today, Thursday, May 13th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. by telephonic video conferencing, which is being live streamed and accessible to the public as provided below for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. In an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, to slow the spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19, there is no in-person public access to the meeting. In accordance with the order of the Office of the Governor issued March 16th, 2020, the City of Sandy Oaks will provide a live stream video and telephonic access of the meeting to the public. The public may participate in this meeting by using the links or phone numbers provided on the agenda. When requested, enter the meeting ID for Zoom access. The public will be permitted to offer public comments telephonically or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting, by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com, or by calling 210-607-0834. Written comments may be submitted to the city secretary up to 2 hours before the meeting or by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com and will be provided to the city council for their consideration. A recording of the telephonic meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon request. Ms. Shelton, can we get a quorum call?
Yes, Alderman Fillinger,
Present.
Alderman Bricken,
Here.
Alderman Rapino,
Here.
Alderman Crickmer,
Here.
Alderwoman Puente. I have it wrong.
Here.
Thank you. We also have the city attorney Cassandra Ortiz on Zoom.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, item number 2, citizens to be heard. Ms. Shelton, did we have any citizens to be heard?
We did not.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 3. I need to find my notes that are buried in here somewhere. Notes. Another piece. Nope, that's not them either. Well, I'll just wing it. So item 3, mayor and administrative updates and announcements. Item A, update on VIA Metropolitan Transit status with the city. So I did have a phone call a couple weeks ago with VIA, and basically they are on track to begin offering service out here hopefully by September. That is their plan at the moment. That's not it either. So more will be coming on that. They will be coming out and doing some educational engagement activities, much like they did a year or so ago, 2 years ago, when they came out. So just be aware that that is something that is in the works, and they are looking for a September date.
When are they going to be doing what they said they were going to do? Then?
Yes, it will be the on-demand VIA link. And I did also ask them about if they happen to have any, if they had like a boneyard where they might have some old benches, or they're upgrading all of their bus stops around town, and I thought maybe they might have some surplus items that we could set up perhaps a couple of centralized places for people to meet, because it's, if you live here, that's one thing, they can come pick you up at your house. But if you don't live here, you still are able to utilize the service. You just have to have them pick you up somewhere. So we're working on identifying if they have anything that they might be able to share with us. Okay, item B is update on submission of the 2021-2022 Texas Community Development Block Grant Program application and the grant application status. I am pleased to say the application has been submitted. That went without a hitch, And our GrantWorks partners have been phenomenal in helping us work through this. I do not recall when the award date is. I want to say it's September, October is when we would find out if we have been awarded the grant. But we're in the bucket, for this to happen. Item C, an in memoriam notice. So a number of people here within the city may already be aware, but for those who are not, I just did want to make a public acknowledgement. Michael Yelton, who was one of our aldermen until last year when he resigned due to health concerns, he did pass away on April the 22nd. And it's been a very difficult time for his wife, who is our court clerk. And there is a notice posted on the city website, give you a little history of who Michael was. A lot of people here in the city do know him. And I think quite a few were quite surprised to hear of his passing. So anyway, I just wanted to publicly let everyone know that he had passed, and to just acknowledge his service to the city. Ms. Shelton, are you up for number 4?
I think I am.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 4, the financial budget and report. The income and expenses will be reported by City Secretary Catherine Yelton with possible discussion and/or action.
So we had a beginning balance as of April 1st, 2021 of $295,696.46. Checks and payments totaled $92,224.64. Deposits and credits were $53,170.02, with an ending balance as of April 30th, 2021 of $256,641.84.
And does this still include the monies that need to be transferred to?
I did transfer some already, and I want to say it was through, it's on one of these pages where it's got the budget details. I think I still have to do March.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see 3 of them, December, January, and February.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
so I have to do March, because April's will probably come more like mid to end of May.
Right.
So they're usually close to a month behind, so I'll have to find the March
Okay,
ones.
so that's good. So these numbers look pretty darn good. We will be doing a budget amendment in probably the next couple of months as we work to finalize the year. So there will be some moving around of monies from that. Okay, any questions from anyone on council regarding the financials? Okay, with that,
I
I'll
move to accept the and approve the financial and budget report as reported.
okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Bricken to accept the financial report as presented. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Okay, that motion carries. We'll move on to item 5, consent agenda. Looks like I only have one item.
Yes, there's
Okay.
only one.
All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. There are 3 items on here. Item A is approved March 2021 City Attorney Invoice number 1274 from Casan and Ortiz, not to exceed $3,639. Item B is approve the minutes from the April 8th, 2021 regular City Council meeting. And item C is approve the minutes from the April 22nd, 2021 regular City Council meeting. I'm going to pull items B and C as they are not yet ready.
I move that we accept the consent agenda except for items B and C for the $3,639 for
Okay,
the city attorney invoice number 1274 from Casan and Ortiz.
okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Crickmer to accept or to approve item A from the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Next up on our agenda is the marshal. And before I turn it over to the marshal, I do want to make a statement. There was an incident in the city a couple days ago in which one of our deputies was assaulted while performing his duties. He was not seriously injured. These were felony counts. 2 individuals were taken into custody, and a very dangerous automatic rifle was removed and placed in custody. So I just want to wish our deputy that he gets well. He should be back hopefully tomorrow. And I just want to acknowledge Marshal Lopez and Bear County Sheriff's Office for responding and assisting on that call. And with that, we'll move on to item 6A, updates and announcements from Marshal Lopez with possible discussion and action. Marshal Lopez, are you on the line? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Are we going over the report or just any
Just general announcements if you have any.
No, ma'am.
Okay. We'll move on to item 6B, presentation of monthly report by Marshal Lopez with possible discussion and action. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. As we bring into the last month of April, for court cases, if you look at your activity report, you'll see for the cases that we had 181 court defendants and 303 cases. Moving down to traffic stops, we had 93 traffic stops for that month. 96 citations were issued and 51 warnings were given as well. We had 3 arrests for that month. Moving down to possession of drug paraphernalia citations. 1 citation was issued for that offense. And then moving down to civil matters, we had 3 civil matters. And then we had 2 disturbances. Moving down to 4 information reports. Let's see. Yes, 4 information reports. And then moving down to 3 calls for service for a suspicious person. And then 6 deaths were in the city. And then moving down to welfare concern was 3 calls for service. Then that month also for April, we had 1 shots fired, report taken. And then moving down to all the way to animal calls for the officers was 1 animal call. And then moving down to the next list was 1 call for service for identity theft. We had 2 deaths in the city. And then we had 1 interference with child custody report taken. And then moving down to for sexual abuse of a child, we had 2 reports on that, and then 1 criminal trespass. And then we had for, like I said, for the rest, if you look at, we had 2 SAPD warrants and 1 county warrant as well.
And Marshal Lopez, I know after our meeting last month, I had mentioned that there was I think an arrest that was missing from
Yes.
your
yes,
March
that
report.
I do
Is that
recall.
reflected on here now?
No, but I'll go ahead and mention that. Back in March, we also had an arrest for animal cruelty case concerning a dog in one of our city cages. And so we filed an animal cruelty case. The warrant came back, and that individual was arrested for animal cruelty.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Marshall Lopez on his monthly report? Okay. We'll move on to item 6C, discussing or possible action on quote received for a body camera for Deputy Magny. So, we've been ordering the body cameras as we needed them. And Deputy Magny is, I think he's about a third of the way through his field training, correct, right now?
Yes, he's about to, moving forward with, I've been very busy myself, so he's going to be starting his second phase of field training. He's going to be moving to 2 to 10 shift with Deputy Castillo overseeing him and being his field training officer for the next month.
Okay. And so because these body cameras typically take a little time to receive them once they're ordered, wanted to go ahead and get the order placed now so that by the time he's ready for his own patrol, he will have a camera. And especially after the events from this week, body cameras are incredibly important. Marshall Lopez has put together or gathered a quote for us for this additional body camera for $910. And this is similar or the same as the cameras that yourself and your other deputy are wearing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I move we approve the purchase of the body camera not to exceed $950.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Fillinger and a second by Alderman Puente to approve the purchase of the body camera for Deputy Magny for a cost not to exceed $950. All in favor say aye.
Excuse me.
Oh, wait.
Aye.
Correct the amount, $910.
Yeah, he
The
said
quote.
not
He said
to-
950.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not to
I
exceed,
thought he
yes.
said the 910.
Okay, we're gonna
Go
back
ahead, I'm
up. Okay, so back again. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Thanks for trying to keep us honest.
sorry.
Somebody needs to.
Helps if I paid attention.
All right, item 6D, discussing or possible action on quote received for a taser for Deputy Magny. So we have a quote here. And this includes the holster, the extended digital power magazine, the actual taser itself, and a taser cartridge. And the total cost on that is $806.74.
Okay, I'll move. Any questions on, or are you gonna ask that?
Anyone have any questions on for this one? Okay,
No.
No?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the taser for Deputy Magny for not to exceed $850.
I'll second that.
okay, you said 850. Okay.
Mhm.
So we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Crickmer to approve the quote for purchase of a taser for Deputy Magny at a cost not to exceed $850. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Okay, we're going to move on. Marshall Lopez, thank you for joining us. You are free to enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Council, for this equipment. It's valuable to our patrol duties every day, and I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too, ma'am.
Okay, item 7A, under Animal Control, updates and announcements from Animal Control Advisory Committee Chair Jennifer Puente with possible discussion and/or action.
Hello, everyone.
Good
We
evening.
do have one one announcement. Penny Paws unfortunately had to cancel this weekend. So there will not be an event in the park. So we're working with them to see when they would be able to reschedule. I know a date was thrown around, but I'm not too sure that it's set in stone.
Yeah, I think we're waiting to hear back from them with a confirmation of that date.
Yeah, so once we have confirmation, we'll go ahead and make sure to put it out there on social media as much as
Okay.
we can.
Perfect. Anything else?
And then our next scheduled meeting will be this coming Monday at 6:30 p.m., which is the 17th, I believe.
5/17 at 6:30. Okay.
And that's all
All
I
right.
got.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next, I don't have Chris's report. Did he give us one?
No.
Exhibit A? Oh, that's the fee schedule.
No. Okay, so item 7B, presentation of monthly report by ACO Maldonado with possible discussion and action. Mr. Maldonado.
Good evening, everyone. Can y'all
Good
hear me?
evening.
Hey, so I do apologize. I did not get a chance to send out the report for the month of April. But I do have it with me. If y'all need it after the fact, I can give that to y'all. Just let me know. But what I'll start off with is let me see.
I think somebody's trying to get a copy of the report.
Well, I usually have them as a enforcement or different. This report is different. So what I have here are bite and scratch, which go under investigation. We had 2 bites or scratches for the month of April. We had 4 calls for cruelty and neglect. We had 24 calls for stray animals. We had 1 wildlife call for a total of 33 calls for service for the month of April. I can't give you all outcomes for any of those, but yeah.
Can you tell me how many animals we currently have in custody?
Currently we have, I cannot, not off the top of my head. The reason why is because we were at the vet today, and on our way to the vet, we actually picked up 2 animals, and then yesterday we picked up some puppies. So I would have to count them in my head, but
Okay.
it's.
Well, I know it's very fluid because they're coming and going all the time. So, okay.
Right.
Well,
Let's put it this way: we are full, overly full. So we have more than 8.
okay.
Put it that
Are
way.
we going to have any of them up for adoption, or are we moving any out to rescues or transport?
Yes. I've made contact with our rescuers that move them up north, and that's why we were at the vet today to get them heartworm tested and move them out.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anyone have questions for ACO Maldonado? Okay, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Keep up the good
Thank you,
work.
guys.
I know it is a lot of work. I know the amount of time and effort that goes into that. And I'd also like to acknowledge our Public Works Representative Priscilla Schmidt for also assisting in that effort, because sometimes it does take, I mean, we could probably use 5 more people to help with this problem.
Use that gun.
No. Okay, item C, 7C, discuss or possible action on ordinance number, I don't know what it's going to be.
21.
It used to be 174.
I have to look back to see where we ended while I was absent.
It's 180 something.
Yeah.
Amending ordinance 2020-174, which is establishing animal nuisance regulations. So during a call with ACO Maldonado earlier, boy, I don't know if it's last week, had to be last week. Something came up and we identified an inconsistency in our ordinance that we just wanted to clear up. And the attorney and I talked about it, decided it was probably best to bring this back to the council, just so that we can clear up the language in here. And someone was asking about registering a dangerous animal. And there was a reference in here that was a bit ambiguous, although we did take action in a previous session and we did approve the $400 annual fee. It was in the schedule correctly, but it was just the language in one of the paragraphs in here. So Ms. Ortiz, at my direction, did go in. There was some additional minor spelling and just some stuff that she amended in here. But what you'll see is on, if I'm not mistaken, oh, here we go. There's a couple of things here on page 8 where there's, a few little red lines. But really this was mostly to address, yeah, so here on page 17 under dangerous dogs, this item number 4 down here, the owner shall pay any cost or fee as provided by the fee schedule attached hereto as Exhibit A for the seizure, acceptance, impoundment, and destruction of the dog. Then over here on page 20, just clarifying the under registration under F, it says pays an annual registration fee established by the fee schedule attached hereto as Exhibit A. And just some other minor spelling corrections. That's really the gist of this entire ordinance being brought back. The gist of it is on this first page where you see the language in the that next to the last paragraph there. The city council desires to amend ordinance number 2020-174 to correct an inconsistency within the ordinance regarding the registration fee of dangerous dogs and make other minor changes.
Mayor, I have just a question for the council. I want to make sure if something needs to be amended, that it is included also. On page 20, section F3, the second sentence says references a fee of $25. I don't know if that is supposed to be the dangerous dog fee as well, and that was an old fee referenced, or if that's the tag fee. The registration tag fee. I just want to make sure if that needs to be corrected, that's also corrected.
And Christopher, would you chime in on this, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a copy of this ordinance there with you?
Pull it.
And so, well,
It may be referencing the microchipping, including registration fee in Schedule A or Exhibit A, but I'm not exactly sure, so just wanted.
because there is,
That looks like an administrative fee for changing the address in all the records.
F3
Yeah,
says if an owner of a registered dangerous dog sells or moves the dog to a new address, the owner, not later than the 14th day after the date of the sale or move, shall notify the animal control officer. On presentation by the current owner of the dangerous dog's prior registration tag and a payment of a fee of $25, the animal control officer shall issue a new registration tag to be placed on the dangerous dog's collar.
sounds like it should stay.
So basically, if it gets transferred to another owner, the owner is supposed to know that the dog is dangerous, and that owner has to register that dog again with us, but under a different registration tag.
If it moves within our city, right?
Right, within
But
our
if it-
city. But even if it does go out somewhere else,
You still need to know that.
right, I still need to know the dog's leaving.
Okay, so that's an administrative fee for tracking of the animal. Okay. And just for the record, in here, and I don't know exactly where it is, but when we were reading through here, I thought we had addressed this, and Ms. Puente, this will be of interest to you. When we're doing microchip, council had approved previously that citizens of Sandy Oaks, the charge is $10. Non-citizens can still get their animals microchip, but it's $25. And that is in the ordinance. And I did remember having that approved in at prior events. The last two events, we've just done $10 across the board, but for ongoing, we will correct that. And $25 is still a bargain. Okay. Any other questions on this particular ordinance modification?
Do
No?
we get a number?
Do we have a number?
I don't think we need a number to, Cassandra, do we need a number to be able to approve it?
You can amend the ordinance and leave it as 2020-174, and we'll remove those references where it's being repealed. But I think typically the council just gives it a new number, so it's really up to how you want to number it.
I'm pretty sure it's 184 is the next one.
Can we be safe and go with 185?
Sure.
Let's do that.
Sure,
Okay,
yeah.
I deem it 2021, 185.
185. Okay, there you go, folks.
Can you repeat the number again? It's 2021, 185?
185.
2021-185.
Okay, thank you.
So do we just approve it as a new ordinance, or do we
No,
approve it as an amended ordinance?
It's an amended ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could, since we didn't change anything other than
Material.
that's what's been presented here,
Okay.
it can be, the motion can be as presented.
So I move that we approve ordinance number 2021-185
Mhm.
as amended. Is that?
No, it's amending,
2021,
174. Okay.
yeah, 2020-174.
Okay. 2020-174.
That's
Okay.
the original.
Okay. Then I move that we approve the amendments to 2020-174. Oh, wait a minute, that's right.
It's okay. You could just say 2021-185 as presented.
2021-185 as amended.
Perfect.
Second.
So we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Crickmer to approve ordinance 2021-185 as presented. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. All right, thank you, Mr. Maldonado. Appreciate your time and your effort. I know it's a thankless job at times, but it's a very necessary and important job. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item 8, Public Works. Updates and announcements from Park Advisory Committee Chair Tom Rapino with possible discussion and/or action.
Okay, we've been working hard on the Parks Committee, and I want to announce that the
Community Center.
I can't, I'm having a brain.
Community Center?
No, the.
Butterfly Garden.
No, the.
Market Days.
Market Days, yes, Market Days. Market Days, which was originally scheduled for this Saturday, will not take place, and it probably will be the following Saturday, but we're not sure of that yet, right?
Mhm.
Would that be the 22nd?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the date I think we're going to try
Try
for, but
for,
we don't
yes,
have it
yeah.
finalized yet.
It's not finalized, and but One thing that we are going to do on the 22nd is we are going to work at the Butterfly Garden, which we decided at our meeting this past Tuesday to try and get that moving along again.
I hope to be there.
Okay, good. I was going to ask you, but I guess someone already did. So, but we're moving ahead, and we will have our next meeting on Tuesday. I believe it's the 18th.
It is the 18th.
And so that's all I have on that.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's move on to item 8B. Discuss and or possible action on quotes received for signs at New City Hall. Where's she?
Mrs. Schmidt,
Where's she going? She's up. Do you have any information on, do you have any quotes for the signs? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pull this one.
that was a negative.
She's been busy.
Yeah, just a little busy. Would you, Charlotte, would you make note to put that on the next agenda, please? Thank you. Okay, item 8C, discuss and or possible action on quote received for a desktop computer for our Public Works Director, Ms. Schmidt. And so the reason she's getting a new desktop is that when Officer Magny came on board, she voluntarily provided hers to him so that he could get set up with all the systems and everything that he needs. And that's kind of left her in a bit of a pickle. And so we need to order her a replacement unit so she can continue with the work that she does and needs to document all the casework. So we have a quote here from JDL, who is our Jerry, who is our IT guy. It's for a Dell computer. It's got a 27-inch monitor. It's an Optiplex 3080. I have no idea what that means, with a 3-year warranty. It's a 10th generation Intel Core i5 Windows 10 Pro, 16 gig of RAM, Wi-Fi, and I don't know what the rest of that is.
It's a good computer.
It's a good computer. Okay, that's what we need to know. Total cost on that is $1,418.77.
Okay, I move that we approve the computer for not more than $1,500.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Puente to approve the purchase of the Dell desktop unit for Public Works for a cost not to exceed $1,500. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Don't give the next one away.
Not the brand new.
Quit being so generous. Okay, let's move on to item 9 under administration. Item A, discuss and or possible action on changing Charlotte Rabe from part-time to full-time, define the duties and responsibilities and rate of pay. So for the council members, if you recall, we brought in Miss Rabe on a part-time basis. And if I'm not mistaken, it was at $13.50 an hour. Is that correct?
Welcome.
Oh, shame. Okay. And what we have found over the last couple of months is that we really need her full time, because Catherine was kind of doing double duty. She was court clerk and also doing city clerk stuff. There's a lot of activity that goes on with the city clerk, with the phones and visitors and preparing the agendas and the meetings. And there's just so much stuff that goes on. So I did approach Ms. Rabe to ask if she would be interested in going full time, and she said yes. And I do know that we could certainly use the additional help around here. So I would, and what I would like to do is what we've done with with everyone. Once they start, we bring them on starting at 15 an hour. And I apologize, Charlotte, I don't recall us paying you so very little.
It was part-time.
I know, but still. That's like half of the half. So does anyone have any questions for either Miss Rabe or myself or Catherine on moving her to full-time? I'm taking that as a no.
I don't have a question. I think that it's, the ladies there have done a tremendous job under a lot of pressure, and I don't know how they've done it, but thank God for them.
I would second that if I could.
Yeah.
Well, did we need a motion?
We do need a motion. And so there's kind of three parts to this. There is the moving from part-time to full-time, there's the rate of pay, and then there's the duties and responsibilities. So from duties and responsibilities, the expectation is that she would assume full duties for the city clerk position, and that would free up Ms. Shelton to focus solely on the court, which is becoming a huge, it's very, from the marshal's report, that was a lot of casework on there. Yeah. And we have a great judge who's helping push all that through too.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we bring Charlotte Ray to from part-time to full-time
Mhm.
at $15 per hour to assume full duties and responsibilities of the city clerk or secretary, whatever we want to call it, to free up Catherine to assume the full duties of the court clerk.
Okay.
Can we,
Yeah, I have a question there.
Go for it.
Alderman Rapino, did you mean that we should appoint Charlotte Rabe as city secretary and full duties thereof?
Acquaint, you say?
Appoint.
Appoint, what did I say?
City clerk, wasn't it?
I said city clerk or secretary.
Well, No, sir, you said bring her on, and I think we should
Oh.
officially appoint her as the city secretary, since that's the procedure.
Okay.
I use the vernacular, okay, appoint,
Thank you.
let's keep it straight.
Okay. Would you like to restate that then?
See, I have to get straight in my mind again. Okay, I make a motion to
Appoint.
bring
appoint?
appoint Charlotte Rabe as the city secretary or clerk at $15 per hour and have her assume full duties and responsibilities so that Catherine Yelton can become full-time as the court clerk. Does that cut it?
I think that will work.
Okay.
Now I need a second.
I'll
I'll
second.
second that.
Geez, hold on. Hold on.
Before we close it out?
Just hold on. No, we're going to close it out and then we're going to come back to that. I know what your question is, I think. So we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Crickmer to appoint Charlotte Rabe to the full-time position of city clerk at $15 an hour to assume full duties and responsibilities for the position. Before we take a vote, Ms. Shelton, your question.
Can we confirm that that starts on Monday? and not
I knew
tomorrow?
you were going there. Just,
Well, as a part of the motion, I think it needs to be
I agree. So when does the next payroll start?
Monday.
Starts Monday the 17th.
So I will add that this
Appointment.
appointment starts on Monday, the 17th of May,
Perfect.
2021.
Okay, so let me restate that then. We have a motion by Alderman Rapino, a second by Alderman Crickmer to appoint Charlotte Rabe to the full-time position of the city clerk effective Monday, May 17th at $15 an hour to assume full duties and responsibilities for the position. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Welcome, Ms. Rabe. See you bright and early Monday morning. Well, we'll see you
Actually,
Friday
tomorrow,
first.
yeah.
Okay. Item 9B, discuss and or possible action on a quote received for a desktop scanner for Charlotte Rabe. You just do not know how important scanner is for what we do around here. Everything that is received in this office gets scanned. It either gets posted in our OneDrive folders or on the website. And they have in their office area, they have one printer, one scanner, which is mostly used by Ms. Shelton. And so in order for Charlotte to do what she needs to do, we needed an additional scanner. So Jerry, our IT guy, got us a quote for an Epson desktop scanner for $395.98. And he's very well aware of the intended use of that and the volume. So I have confidence in his selection here.
It's a good choice. I've been using an Edison for 23 years.
Yeah.
Same one.
Wow.
I've got one, as a matter of fact.
Can we help you?
And he's been standing there.
Okay, so back to the agenda. Anyone have any questions on this item?
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the Epson desktop scanner for not more than $420.
Okay. Anyone?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Bricken to approve the purchase of the Epson scanner for a cost not to exceed $420. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Did we lose Alderman Puente?
Oh, I gotta get back in. Thanks.
I didn't hear them.
Well, I just looked up. I didn't see her on the
Yeah.
screen.
I didn't hear Charles either.
Charles is there.
Charles.
Welcome back, Jennifer.
Did I lose you guys?
You did.
Oh, okay.
Most important thing
That's
of the
okay.
night.
We just appointed you to a position. Did you know?
Oh,
you-
Lord, not again.
You now run the lawnmower.
Okay, and just, I don't know if you were here, how much of that you heard on item 9B. Council approved the purchase of the desktop scanner for a cost not to exceed $420.
Okay. I lost y'all on 9A.
Oh, okay. Okay, item 9C, discuss and or possible action on accepting the resignation of Pedro Orduno from Planning and Zoning Commission and procedure for nominating replacement and or appoint a person to fill the vacancy for the unexpired term. So we did receive a notice from Mr. Orduno that he wished to resign from the position. He has things happening personally, and of course, you know, that's the way things happen around here. So this is just a formality on accepting his resignation, and then we can discuss how to proceed with either nominations for the appointment in the future.
I'll
So,
move that we accept Pedro Orduno's resignation from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll
okay,
second.
we have a motion by Alderman Crickmer and a second by Alderman Rapino to accept the resignation of Pedro Orduno from the Planning and Zoning Commission. All in favor, say aye.
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 I
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. What I'd like to do now is just have a general discussion with the council members on your ideas, your ideas on finding a replacement for that position. So throw them out there and let's see what sticks.
May I ask for a review, how many are on the board and who is currently on the board?
Currently, we have the chair, which is Melissa Hadley. We have Joe Portman. We have Douglas Tomasini. We have Kim Bradshaw. And then we have a vacancy. So there's a total of 5, which includes the chair.
Good people.
Yes. And I will tell you, it's of all of the things that happen meeting wise, that is proving to be one of the most challenging commissions or committees that we have. The commission is, because it's a huge task, but by golly, they stick to it and they're working on it. So kudos to them. But so we can do a number of things. We could have each of the council members. I'm sure you've had contact with various people throughout the community who may have expressed an interest in participation in some fashion. You could talk to them, come back and see if they're interested in serving and make a nomination at our next meeting, or we could make a public request for just generally, we could send it out through Nixle. We could post it on the website, if anybody's interested in serving in that position. I'm open to ideas.
Well, we ought to do that at least.
At least,
I'm
yes.
open for a public request. But
We
then submit a resume or some type of qualifications.
I don't know that there really are qualifications, other than just a desire to serve.
And what's in the ordinance, so you have to be a landowner.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, there are certain qualifications, but interest is probably, the biggest one.
I think you'd run into trouble if you started to try and discriminate on who could be on there.
Exactly. I mean, I think the qualifications are very minimal. You have to be a property owner. So even though Mr. Portman does not live in the city, he is a property owner. Hello? Okay, that was a mistake. Okay. So does that sound fair enough that we would just, y'all reach out to your constituents that you know of?
How about Damon?
Do any people on the board have any recommendations, or not on the board, on the committee? Do they know of anyone?
On the commission, they are also contemplating adding someone as well, or nominating somebody or bringing them forward as a possibility. And then, because with the commission, they make recommendations, then we bring those to the council. So at our last meeting, which I think was last week, we did not have that discussion at that time. But we certainly will do that at our next meeting. And I think if we just get the word out that we do have a position open and see, put your feelers out.
Yeah, there ought to be a lot of interest in the community.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say in general, the website, a Nixle announcement, and the usual social media outlets would be the way to go.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, we can work to make that happen. So that's what we'll do. And at our next meeting, Charlotte, make a note. At our next meeting, we'll bring this one back for nominations for appointment. Okay, let's move on to our last item here, item D. Discuss and or possible action on procedures for accepting applicants for the Citizen Complaint Review Board. So we weren't ready for this meeting to do the swearing in and do the official changeover from the marshal to the police department, but I think our next meeting, we should be there. And I mean, technically, paper-wise, legally, with the state and everything, we are there. But the marshal and I have been having some conversations about when is the right time to flip the switch on this. And I just want to make sure that we have all of our things in line. The things that we're waiting on right now are the actual shields. And the patches, I think, either came in or they're scheduled to come in the end of this week. And so we should be in a position by our next meeting to take care of that. And remember, this Citizen Complaint Review Board is part of the police department, not the marshal's office. So this is an effort to be in a position by our next meeting, hopefully, to have our potential applicants to positions on that board so that when we flip the switch to PD, we have everything in place. So
Yeah, I think on the ordinance that we specified that when we had state approval, the citizen review board would be active at that point in time. So
well, and technically the ORI and the agency ID, all of that is in place, but we have not notified the state that says, okay, we are ready to go from here to here, because they have to happen at the same time.
okay.
Yeah, we're ready to do it. We have not done it. Okay, so along those lines, that's what I'm looking for. I have a document here. Did I share this with everybody on
Yes.
not that one. Not the authorization. There was another document. Doggone it. Let me find it and I will pull it up. Here we go. It's right here on my screen. I'll show it on the screen. Well, I need to print some for those that are here. Print. And I apologize. It's been a crazy week and this just got away from me. Catherine, which one of these printers am I going to use? That's not what they say on mine.
Oh.
I either have a
HP?
477DW or another 477DW.
Yeah, pick one.
Is it
I'll find it.
2372
I
or?
have no idea.
Okay.
Pick it and it's either going to print at my office or
Another
Kristen's.
office. Okay, I'm going to print out 6 copies of this, and I do not want to print it on.
Now, are you going to share it on your screen?
I'm going to share it on my screen, and I'm going to email it to Alderman Fillinger and Alderman Puente as well. I do not want to print on both sides. That's always the key. So what I did is I drafted just a information sheet, if you will, that would be available to post on the city website, and then also to let me save this real quick. Save to this PC. Also with information on what is required, what the steps are to be considered to serve on this review board. And I'm going to get that out here to you, Charles and Jennifer. I'm going to send it to all of y'all just so you have it in email.
Did you hit print?
I did. Okay, it's on its way to you right now. Let me go ahead. Oh, I don't know if I can share my screen here. Let me see if I can print it to a different one. I don't know. Print. Let's go to this one. And properties. No. Okay. I sent it to the other 477, so I don't know which one it is. But it'll show up on both of them. Okay, so we'll start from the top. And I can't share the screen because I'd have to get up and walk over there to click transfer. So I'll just read through it real quickly. It's procedures for interested parties to participate. The City Council established the City of Sandy Oaks Citizen Complaint Review Board, the board with the purpose of reviewing and evaluating complaints of alleged misconduct by a police officer of the Sandy Oaks Police Department. The board will be comprised of 4 citizens, 1 police officer, 1 elected official, and 1 paid city employee. Qualifications for consideration in serving on the Citizen Complaint Review Board are: they shall have resided in the city for at least 6 months prior to appointment, have no misdemeanor convictions 3 years prior to appointment, includes Class C offenses, but does not include violations of city traffic ordinances or codes or the Texas Transportation Code, and no felony convictions. They should have no pending criminal charges before a court of competent jurisdiction over such matters. They should have no outstanding debts owed to the city. They should have no outstanding citations issued by the city, except for violations of traffic ordinances or codes or legal matters before the city. Be willing to sign and execute a non-disclosure confidentiality statement to be filed with the city secretary in a form provided by the city. Be willing to make a commitment to serve their appointed term and thereafter attend meetings as required. Attend all initial as well as periodic training sessions conducted by the SOPD. Citizens who desire to serve on the board should contact the city clerk, and I give the phone number, to request a release form which will authorize the city to perform a background check. The intent of that is, rather than request by email, because one of the comments that I get from some people is, I don't have internet, I don't have email. Everyone has the ability to make a phone call. So I want to make it as fair for anybody and everybody as possible. So the way they apply is they call Ms. Charlotte, and they will request a release form, which is this document that you each have. And that is going to be considered as the application. This is where they express their interest for the position. The period for requesting a release form shall begin on, and we will fill in the blanks here, you know, the day we're going to start and continue through a different date. And then the completed forms must be received at City Hall at this address by 5 p.m. and we'll pick a date and a date for that. Only properly submitted releases will be considered. Then within 1 week after the receipt, when we ended the receipt date, background checks and validation of all other qualifications will begin. Once that's complete, the next step will be scheduling interviews with qualified applicants. Interviews will be conducted with myself, the mayor, and a deputy police officer, not the marshal, but a deputy police officer, either in person or by Zoom, whichever the applicant is most comfortable with. As soon as is feasible, the city council will consider recommendations from the available qualified candidates. So, you know, I wanted to make this fairly simple, but this particular page here could be used as a, you know, a handout. Somebody could come in and pick one up and decide if they want to serve in that position. Also, we could fill in these blanks on this, post it on the city website, also be able to share it through all our other channels, social media, etc., and see what kind of interest we get from that. And again, if you read through this document, which is the release for the background check, I think that pretty much addresses all the concerns. It's authorizing us to begin the background checks. You can't do a background check on somebody without their permission. So once they have agreed to that, then we would consider this an application.
A question.
Yes.
Do we need to reference the ordinance, whatever that number may
yes.
be on this page with
We
the-
do,
with
and I
the-
just didn't get a chance to look that up.
On this page as well.
No,
You don't need to reference.
no, this
the
is
other
just a
page.
release form.
Okay, you don't, okay.
Yeah.
The ordinance that established the board is 181.
181. Okay.
It's on the application for a background check.
Oh, thank you.
Is there a,
Oh, it is referenced.
Hold on.
Silly me.
the way this is written, shall have resided in the city for 6 months prior to pardon. It goes down through all of this.
All of that came directly from the ordinance.
Yeah, I know, but shouldn't there be an exclusion? It may not be a elected official or employee of the city.
Oh,
Well, no, because we've already identified up here that it's 4 citizens, 1 police officer, 1 elected official, and 1 paid city employee.
Okay, but the other people could not be such. That's what I'm asking.
Well, each of y'all could turn in your applications, but I'm going to disqualify you
it's,
because
yeah, it's understood.
you don't fit the profile of what we're looking for to fill the board.
Because I'm short.
Yes, because you're short.
And ornery.
I knew that was gonna come up eventually.
And ornery. So my thought was on filling in the blanks on here. I would like to say Monday to start to have these available for beginning Monday, if anyone's interested. And the challenge is going to be, is she back? Is Jennifer back?
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Jennifer. I'm just now seeing your message. Okay. So if we were to start on Monday, the 17th, and then allow, if we allow 2 weeks, we won't have this done by the next meeting.
Mhm.
And plus we still have to do interviews. So from a logistical standpoint, we can't, there's no way to get all this done within 2 weeks. But I think if we, give me an idea, how long do you think we should have it open for people to submit?
Well, I thought there's going to be like a mad rush.
You know.
I would say just leave it open from now on. Anybody that's interested, we can have them listed as an alternate.
Well, the challenge with that, Charles, is what if we start this process, then we start the interview, because if you read in here, it says within 1 week after receipt of releases that we put on here that are going to end on a certain date, then we will start the interview process, the background checks and the interviews. Now we can change that. But I don't want somebody feeling that they were slighted in any fashion if they, like we've already gone through, we're preparing to present to council, and at the very last minute, somebody submits something and they go, hey, I submitted and you didn't consider me. So that's why I'm thinking we need a definitive time for this go round.
Who does this interview and that?
Myself and one of the deputies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So make it a month.
You want to do it for a whole month?
Is that too long?
Make it 3 weeks and we can take it up on our second council meeting from now.
But remember, we have a lot of work to do between, from the deadline of submission, we still have to do the background checks and the interviews. I'm not sure how long it takes to get a background check back.
I don't think it takes long. I was gonna suggest like Alderman.
It takes about 2 to 3 weeks. I just did one for the city of San Antonio.
Okay, so let's go with a month.
So we
Well,
have to-
so how long to accept applications? Starting on the 17th.
We'll go 2 weeks from there.
So, oops, sorry, the 31st is a holiday, so that's not going to work because we're not going to be open here.
And once people find out they're gonna be background checked, Some of them are gonna back out.
Well, that's always a possibility. Actually, we could do it on the 17th and 5 PM on the 28th. So that's 2 full weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That work?
Okay. And continue through 5/28. And the forms have to be received on 5/28 by 5 PM. Okay. And so then that last blank down there would be within 1 week after receipt of releases on 5/28, then the background checks and validations would begin.
Okay, so we're gonna advertise and reference them to this,
Yes.
and then they're gonna sign
And then they
this?
would, if they're interested, they call Charlotte, who provides them this, which becomes the application and starts the ball rolling.
Did you forward that document to me? Because I need it for my meeting packet and I don't have it.
I did not, I sent it to Charlotte, but not you, because, you know, you're on the outs.
I'm not a corporate city clerk anymore. Anyways, but I can.
I will send it to you.
That's a hell of a job.
Oh, you mean I forgot to give y'all an attachment? What is up with
Yeah.
that? Okay, I will send it all again. Aye. Look at this.
Here's 2 extra copies.
Oh, there's a copy there.
Yeah, I got 2 extra copies right there.
I'll put one for my meeting packet.
Who am I missing? Is it me? Oh, Charles. Charlotte. And I'm going to send it to court clerk. I'm trying to not send to city clerk because you're not always there.
I look at them both. throughout.
No, I know, but
I probably need to just pass that one on to Charlotte and get rid of one of them.
I think I put this in on OneDrive, I think. Bear with me a moment. I'm looking for. Right there. Sandy Oaks. I don't know where it saved it, but I've got it here, so we'll save it somewhere else. Almost there. Okay. Y'all are getting it now. Okay, so I think what we need to do here is to have a motion on this particular sheet, the procedures for interested parties. And anyone making the motion will have to include the blanks that have been filled in now.
What are the blanks?
We run this by a company that does background checks.
No, we
to
have.
see what they want.
Well,
anyway.
No. We have 2 ways of doing background checks. One is through DPS, and Marshall and I have already talked about that. And then we already have a subscription to Red Star.
No, this is Red Star.
Who?
Yeah.
Red Star.
It's a background company, like pre-employment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that. But we'll probably do both because DPS will pick up a wider area. They probably have better records.
What's employment?
Pardon?
What's employment?
If you go in for pre-employment screening, they'll do a background check on you, and that's the other background.
No wonder I can't get a job.
It wasn't from lack of trying.
I just don't recognize the word employment.
Oh,
That's why.
stop. Okay, so would anyone like to make a motion on item 9D.
You're on the
I'm motioned out.
I'll make a motion that we accept Citizens Complaint Review Board ordinance request procedures for interested parties to participate, ordinance 2021-181. Have to read the whole thing?
No, just the blanks.
Citizens who desire to serve on the board should contact the city clerk at 210-607-0834 to request the release form, which will authorize the city to perform a background check. The period for requesting a release form shall begin on Monday, the 17th, and continue through
Friday.
Friday, the 28th,
Mhm.
and completed forms must be received at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road by 5 p.m. on
The 28th.
28th,
Mhm.
March 28th,
May
May
20th.
28th,
28th.
excuse me. Only properly submitted releases will be considered within 1 week after the receipt of release on
May 28th.
May 28th. Background checks and validation of all other qualifications will begin. The next step will be scheduling interviews with qualified applicants.
Yep.
Interviews will be conducted with the mayor and a deputy police officer, either in person or via Zoom. As soon as it's feasible, the city council will consider recommendations from the available qualified applicants.
And whoever seconds does not have to,
Repeat.
you are free to say, I second,
I second the motion.
so moved. Okay.
I apologize.
No, you did fine. So we have a motion by Alderman Crickmer and a second by Alderman Bricken to approve the Citizen Complaint Review Board procedures for interested parties to participate with the edits or the amendments as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right,
I,
Okay, any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And with that, it is 7:50 p.m. and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
good night.
Good night, everyone.
Everyone.